Well, Anderson, this was a very interesting fight, the way it played out. Derek, of course, was being very patient and not overly aggressive. How were you feeling as the fight was playing out? Were you getting frustrated at all, or were you happy with the way things were happening?
Como é que você estava se sentindo? A luta me parecia que estava sendo muito agressiva. O que você estava sentindo ali dentro na luta?
I have just one thing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy because, first of all, I love fight. Second one, sometimes when different people talk to me and say, why you don't stop? You don't need to prove nothing more. And I respond, because this is my air, this is my heart, fight is my life. And when I go inside the cage, I back to my 30 years old and just happy. I just stay happy because this is my life.
It was a very tough fight to score. How did you and your corner have the fight scored, and how confident were you when you were waiting to hear the decision that you had won?
Foi uma luta difícil de pontuar. Como é que estava a pontuação para você e para o teu corner? E você estava confiante ali com a decisão?
Yeah, I think I use more techniques and I move me more. In the last round, my opponent put him in the ground, but I'm more offensive and I attack more. I think this is a good question for the judge, no?
And last for me, afterwards you were very emotional. You said that, people say you're too old, too slow, that sort of thing.
For a lot of people talk about it.
For a brief moment, it sounded like maybe you were going to retire. Did you think about that at all? Did you think for a moment that maybe this would be a great way to go out?
I'm old. I'm very old. The people, when the guys say, you're too old, this guy is too old. But, I have a lot of experience and I have perfect time, This is more important.
Anderson, eu queria saber, foi uma entrada diferente, né? Você estava com uma música que era especial, teve os seus filhos ali no começo, teve aquela cena bonita de você abraçando o Calil e o Gabriel e entrando. Queria saber como é que foi essa entrada para você, né, esse retorno, e o que você estava sentindo ali naquele momento?
Estava muito feliz de poder fazer o que eu gosto, fazer o que eu amo. Lutar é meu ar, né? E apesar de estar chegando cada dia mais perto da minha carreira acabar como lutador, é meu ar. E estar junto com os meus filhos, eles estarem presentes sempre na minha vida. E às vezes eu acho que eu erro como pai, mas eu não sou perfeito. Mas eu estou muito feliz deles estarem podendo viver esse momento comigo, assim, é super legal.
Ali naquele momento do octógono, quando anunciaram o seu nome, né? Aquele choro, foi um choro de alívio, foi um choro mais de felicidade? O que passou ali pela sua cabeça?
Acho que de felicidade, né? Muitos anos fazendo isso, muitos anos aqui dentro do UFC, podendo algumas vezes dar alegria, algumas vezes dar tristeza para algumas pessoas, né? Mas sempre feliz de poder fazer meu trabalho bem feito e voltar para minha família.
E a última pergunta, você tinha dito que gostaria de lutar no Brasil, né? Na sequência, você já consegue pensar assim, se você gostaria de voltar a lutar lá, e enfim, se essa é uma coisa que...
Claro, com certeza. Mas agora meu foco é voltar para casa, ficar com a minha família e cuidar das minhas coisas paralelas ao UFC e é isso.
Anderson, ainda na questão da emoção no final, foi bem foi bem difícil, foi bem único, assim, ver você desse jeito emocionado, assim. Você acha que dá pra gente dizer que foi talvez a luta mais emocionante da tua vida?
Não, não foi a mais emocionante, mas foi bastante gratificante. Eu acho que eu sou um atleta feliz com o meu trabalho, um lutador completo, sabe? Eu acho que eu passei por todas as turbulências, todas as emoções possíveis dentro desse esporte, e possíveis e impossíveis. E a felicidade de estar ali em cima, podendo fazer o que eu gosto, fazendo o que eu amo, com a minha verdade, não tem preço. A emoção é sempre grande.
E com a questão da idade e como você falou também da galera ser um pouco mais rápida que você agora, você já pensa em mudar o preparo, o teu treino? O que você está pensando aí para...
Na verdade, não, né? Na verdade, assim, a galera é mais rápida, mas eu tenho um tempo melhor que eles, né? Não que eu seja melhor que algum deles, mas eu tenho tempo, né? Então, isso acaba sendo uma vantagem sobre a garotada que está chegando, né? Claro que vai ter uma hora em que eu vou ter que parar, mas ainda não chegou.
Anderson, in your past few fights, you seem to really explode at the end of rounds, doing a lot of Wilder stuff, really letting loose, going on the offensive. Is that just the rounds, the fight coming to you at that point in the rounds, or is that calculated risks trying to do the crazier stuff without worry about ending up in a bad position where you could lose by a submission or something like that?
Nas suas últimas lutas parece que você explode no final do round. Isso é uma coisa calculada? Você está calculando o risco ali ou ao decorrer da luta mesmo?
É uma característica... sorry. You know, this is my strategy, you know, and I talked a lot to my trainers in my team, and I use the time for help me, you know, and this is more strategy.
Anderson, was there a time during this fight where you felt 41 years old at all?
Teve algum momento que você se sentiu aos 41 anos dentro dessa luta?
Yeah. Yeah. The last round I said, oh my gosh, I'm an old man now. Jesus Christ. But I think this is not important, because when I go inside the cage, I don't care. 41, 42, 43, I just put in my heart and let's go.
What are you going to tell the UFC about what you want to do next? What do you want to do?
O que você vai dizer para o UFC que você quer no próximo passo?
You know, so my next step is Dana. Thank you for giving the opportunity for fight again, and now I go back home.
You expect to fight again, though?
Yeah, of course, but my focus now is back to my family, back to see my wife and my kids, and I have a different focus outside the cage, you know, and I go back to home.
So is there not really a name out there that, you know, stokes the fire inside you, or you just want to leave it up to the UFC to assign that fighter to you?
Então não tem nenhum nome que imita essa chama?
No, I just waiting for my next challenge inside the cage, but now I need you rest a little bit. I'm old.
Thanks, Anderson.
Hello, Anderson, over this way, right here. My question to you, this way, right here, over here, I'll stand up. All this week, a lot of people mention your age and some of the negative aspects that come with being an aging fighter, but there are also advantages that I assume that you've had in terms of all the cage time that you've accumulated. Can you speak to us about some of the positive things of being a fighter at this age, things that you may see that other younger fighters may not?
Durante essa semana todo mundo falou muito da sua idade, das desvantagens de ter a sua idade, mas também tem muita vantagem, né, da sua experiência ali dentro. Fala um pouco disso.
You know, I think this is the stay inside the mind, you know. In my mind, I'm joking all the time. When my friends say, "You old," I say, "Yeah, I'm old," but I don't think this is very important because I have a good team for help me for training, and I have a good life, and all the time I keep straight my focus for my job when I go to fight, and I train a lot all day. I just joking when I talking about this. I say I'm old, but I just joking because in my mind I'm young.
Also, at one point in your career, you said one of the greatest challenges would be to face your clone, to face yourself. Now that you are the age where you are right now, do you find yourself looking at your performance and your training habits and everything, how you used to do it as a younger fighter versus now? And do you set the standard for yourself based upon what you used to be able to do?
Você antigamente falava que o seu maior desafio seria enfrentar o seu clone, né? Hoje você olha para como você treinava antigamente, tudo que você fazia antigamente comparado a como você faz hoje em dia?
Yeah, everything is the same. Everything is the same. But now I'm more smart because when I'm more young, I just don't pay attention for the movement, danger movement, and now I just quiet for the different movements, but it's the same.
Anderson, over here. I know it's fresh, but can you say definitively which rounds you thought you won?
Você pode dizer definitivamente quais rounds você acha que você venceu?
I think I win the 2 rounds. In the last rounds, I don't think so, but it's a good question for the judge because I defended takedown in the last round. My opponent put him in the ground, but I attacked more, you know?
So you think you won the first and second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's a good question for the judge.
When they announced that you won, were you surprised or were you expecting to win?
Quando você anunciaram ali que você venceu, você ficou surpreso ou você já esperava?
No, I just happy because I put in my focus and I talked to my coach, and my coach say, you win the 2 rounds, just keep straight your focus for the last one. And, you know, but my opponent is the good fighter, is young, is good fighter. I just say thank you for Derek Brunson for giving the opportunity for fighting, you know.
And were you happy with your performance? Like when you look at the fight, overall, are you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy because I do my best, you know, and I just happy. When I put my legs inside and walk inside the cage, I say, oh my gosh, I back to fight. Thank you, God.
And one last question. It was a little different seeing you walk out to a different song. I know your son sang the song, wrote the song. You're a very proud father.
I'm very surprised because first of all, I talked to Ed and I'd say, oh, I don't think so, this is happening. And I say, okay, it's fine. And when I stay in my room for walking and my son's coming, and I'd say, this is a surprise for you. And when I listen the song to my son, I say, oh my gosh, thank you. No, I'm so happy today.
The UFC has always liked that you come out to that song by DMX. Was it hard to convince them to let you do this? And what are you thinking as a father?
DMX is part, the song, the DMX is part for my story inside the cage, inside UFC. But I think this time is very important, you know, I'm very surprised because my son working a lot for this song for me, and it's a good present for me. I'm very emotional. I need to say thank you, Khalil. Thank you.
Those two boys that walked out with you, are they your sons?
Yes, Khalil
Okay.
and Gabriel.
So to walk out and your son's singing as a father, are you even thinking of that, or are you so in the moment that you can't
A
recognize?
little press
Yeah.
for me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, because my sons stay together me all the time, and Gabriel helped me when I trained boxing because he's a good boxer, and Khalil helped me sometimes. Don't like fight, but have a good talent. But I'm so happy because my sons stay together me for a long time when I go inside the fight, you know, and it's part of my life. This is my best. My two sons is my best, you know, and of course, Kaori, Kawana, and João. But these two boys stay all the time together me, help me a lot.
Thank you.
Anderson over here. You shared a moment while you were waiting for the judges to read the scores. You were sitting on the mat with Derek Brunson. I was just wondering if you could shed a little bit of light what you guys talked about in that moment.
Aquele momento você se ajoelhou ali com o Derek Brunson, o que vocês estavam conversando?
No, I just say, Derek, thank you so much. Thank you. You know, this is today you prove for everybody here how much you respect this sport. You know, and I say thank you for opportunity because you fight me. You know, and. Derek Brunson is a good boy, and I have a great future inside the cage in UFC.
Anderson, aqui na frente. O Jacaré e o Glover falavam que você, em dado momento na luta, lembrou muito o Anderson da época de campeão, com muitos golpes plásticos, rodados. Você teve essa percepção também naquele momento? E de onde veio aquela ginga ali, que até o Jacaré falou que veio da capoeira? Foi alguma coisa de momento ou já foi alguma coisa pensada?
Quando eu estou ali dentro, eu estou feliz. Quando eu estou ali dentro, eu estou ali para me divertir, independente do que muito ficou na cabeça das pessoas, em que eu brinco demais, etc. Não é nada disso. Quando eu estou ali dentro, eu estou tentando... É o único lugar de verdade que eu posso expressar toda a minha felicidade e voltar a ser criança. Então, eu procuro ser o mais feliz possível ali dentro.
Anderson, to your left. There you go. I know you said you want to take some time off, be with your family, but the UFC is expected to go to Brazil in June for UFC 212. Right now it's Jose Aldo and Max Holloway. Would you have any interest in potentially fighting in that event, going home to Brazil?
Maybe. Now I go back to home, but maybe, you know. Surprise. Pegadinha do malandro. Não sei, vamos esperar.